All right, so in the last video, we spoke about inviting members of the team and we created some roles. And in this case, I want to invite someone based on the roles that we created, and I want to invite my executive assistant. And the name I use for this account is Opemi Popology. So to create an assistant, I just want to do a very brief twist. I would name the assistant Bolaji Opemipo. And I hope that doesn't confuse us down the line, but just to help me make sure I don't use a false name. All right. And the email I would use is, let me use hello@390.me and invite the person as an executive assistant and send the invitation. Right now, the person is going to get the invitation, and I'll show you how the invitation is going to come in. And from there, they can decide. I'll show you how they will join so that you understand how your colleagues and staff too will join at any point in time when they have to. Okay, so I've done that. And if I come to pending invitations, as I showed you before, and I click that, then I can see now that there's a pending invitation going on. I could decide to revoke it, which means they won't have access to the invitation again. They would be sent an email that the invitation has been rescinded as well. And you could just copy this link as well and share with them in case they cannot maybe readily access their email and they still need access. Just copy the invitation and send them, and they will be able to join right away. All right, so next, let me show you how that invitation looks like on the other end. All right, so the invitation has come in on the other account, and it comes in like this: invitation to the organization name, and the organization name is going to be here. In your case, it's going to be the name of your business. And this is hello there. You've been invited to your organization on 390. Then you can choose to accept invitation, which expires in 7 days. So in this case, I'll just hit accept invitation on this account, which will bring me to this page. And okay, so there's a mix up here, and I will explain this because it wouldn't happen in your case, but I'm just giving you some cases where you're already logged in as a separate email and you are trying to join from another to give you this warning that the invitation is for hello@390 and you're currently logged in as honor390. Those are two different emails. So let me log out of this one so I can accept the invitation on the other. So once I do log out, it brings me back here. Then I can go back to my mail and just click the invitation again and brings me back to this point where I can now register with this new email that I have been invited with, which is hello@390.me. All right. So now I will do, remember I said I was going to call it Bolaji Opemipo, which is the inverse, or rather, that's the first name. So first name is going to be Bolaji in this case, then last name will be Opemipo. In the other cases, was the other way around. Then date of birth, I'll give it my same date of birth in here, which is 1905. Then I would make it female, maybe just to give it a bit of, or let me just change the month so that we can see how things can change. If the person is my twin, most likely the same day, female. All right. So username, I could choose to put any name. Let me say the Opemipo, for example. And password can be any of my passwords as I choose to have them. I have all of my passwords stored here, and that's going to be the same as well for me. But again, I wouldn't let you see this. So let me just copy that and paste. And now I can go back to the screen, then accept the invitation. All right. And upon doing this, I should now gain access to the application now. I can save this in case I need it later. What's the mail I use? Okay, later. All right, so now this is my assistant having access to the organization, and this is how your staff or colleagues will have access to 390 when you've invited them. And if I click on launch, then they would come back to this page where they would see only your organization. Of course, in your case, you can see more than, like in my case, or for your colleagues, they will just see this organization and your organization can decide to interact with it. So upon clicking it, then they have access to the same things you had access to. But you notice some subtle, not subtle, but obvious changes here. That on the sidebar here, there are very, very few things that your assistant can see. which means they could only see Hub, which is bookings, order, and up. And these are some of the things that you give them access to the App Store and settings. That's why they could see them. But even for in most cases, when people don't have access to App Store, and that's collectively most people in your business, all they will see would be just this part. And they'll most likely reach out to you that, oh, I cannot see anything on my page. And don't be thrown around. It's just because you've not given them access to different things. Not everybody on 390 will have access to everything in your business. 390 works on a thing called RBAC, that's role-based access control. So which means if you do not need to see anything, you won't see it. That's how 390 was designed. So I'll take you through how to help every single member of your team see what they need to see and work what you need to work on in your business. All right. So this is what the assistant page looks like. They also have all of these things here. And if I sweep back to my own account, I can see now that I have access to accounting, CRM, and everything on this other account. And you can differentiate based on the name. Mine is Opemipo. The other person's assistant in this case is Bolaji. So you can see that in this case, again, it's empty. In mine, there is a lot. So I'll show you how to give access to a new team member in the next video. All right. Thank you.